Why take one vacation with the family when you could take all of them? With Royal Caribbean, you don't just go to the beach. You visit a private island and race down the tallest water slide in North America. You don't just go for a road trip. You ATV and zip line through the jungle. You don't just go somewhere new. You rappel down waterfalls and discover ancient temples. Because this isn't just any vacation. This is all the vacations. Come seek the Royal Caribbean. Ships Registry, Bahamas.
Your brain needs support, and new Ollie Brainy Chews are a delightful way to take care of your cognitive health. Made with scientifically backed ingredients like Thai ginger, L-theanine, and caffeine, Brainy Chews support healthy brain function and help you find your focus, stay chill, or get energized. Be kind to your mind and get these nootropic chews at ollie.com. That's OLLY.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hey guys, welcome to this week's podcast episode, and I'm really delighted about today's guest, Hilda Fainsod, and she's the author of Power Up, the executive roadmap to transforming life and business, and it's going to be great for all the female entrepreneurs out there. We're going to talk about what's really interesting is she talks a lot about saboteurs and how to deal with them, how to intercept them, what are those, and it's going to be a fascinating discussion about business success and transformation. So, Hilda, welcome.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me. I'm excited to this conversation.
Yeah. So, start off by talking about what you do, how you got started, your books, and we'll dive right into it.
Yeah, I'm a top executive leadership coach. I do have 20 years working with top executives, transforming the way they approach life and business. And I have in my mind all the time, okay, it must be interesting to write a book, because in life you need to plant a tree and write a book and have a son. So I have the other two, not the book. And always my answer was, there was a saboteur. My answer was, when I will have time. And suddenly in COVID, I had time. So there was no excuse anymore of not writing a book. So I hired a book coach. I sat down for 7 weeks, full time, like 8-10 hours. I had this book in my head. Buen Camino is in Spanish, how to reinvent yourself in a world that changed. And I didn't know how to write and how to express myself, but I did have a structure in my head and a good topic about how to grow when the context changed. So it was a huge experience for me. I decided that the next book needed to be in English, a different challenge, a different time, because I had too much work, but I decided already to do that. So I hired an American self-publishing school that is a good one. And that way I was trained and coached to write a book. Of course, it didn't took me seven weeks. It took me a whole year, because I didn't have that book in my head. I only understand pain points in executives and in people because we want something badly and we don't accomplish. And that's the story of us. Wanting badly, investing time, and suddenly the energy and the blockers appear and they stop you from achieving. So that's why I wrote that book, and I want that it will create impact and will be a global effort to touch thousands of persons. So that's my goal.
Yeah. I love that. And one thing I would really want to talk about is, everybody's out for success and they want goals, but then you also have to look at the other side, which are the things that hold you back. Could be other people, it could be your enemies, for lack of a better word. So talk about saboteurs. What are those, internal, external, how to deal with them?
Okay, there are both internal and external. I do ask people, and when I'm in a conversation with others, when I'm in a conference, I do ask people what gets in your way. And I stood for three possible answers. Myself, others, or the context. And guess who wins the contest? Myself. Because, of course, there are others that stops you. For example, you begin a diet and you are in a lunch with somebody and they began like, let's have a dessert. No, thank you, I'm on a diet. A dessert. We are today celebrating whatever life, whatever. So a little piece of cake. We are going to share. It's not a big sin. So we can do that. So people stops you or don't help you or don't support you. And the context also stops you. And the same example, are you in a diet and you go to the pantry, open it, and oh my goodness, there are so good things that you don't need to eat, but they are still there, close to you. So the context also stops you. But let's go with myself. I began with this determination. As you said, Chris, we are here for success, right? So we began something with energy and determination and commitment, and we say to ourselves, this time I'm gonna make it. Because this time there's nothing that will stop me. And suddenly there's something in the pantry, or you put your alarm clock and didn't wake up for the morning gym, or you came to the office and you said, never again you are going to begin without any priorities in your head and in your calendar, and you go right ahead without taking care of what matters most. So we stop ourselves from accomplishing. And in the time we stopped, we began with too much energy, and we had this story in our head that 21 days is going to be enough. And of course not. 21 days only puts you in a different routine, but it's not enough to have a habit that will transform your life or your business. But we believe in 21 days, so the day 22, surprise, we began to stop from improving, to stop the practice. And this is a continuous practice. How many reps? The ones that you will need. How many? Maybe a year, maybe 8 months, 10 months, I don't know. It depends. But it's not a 21-day rule that will take you to the best place that you want to be.
Why take one vacation with the family when you could take all of them? With Royal Caribbean, you don't just go to the beach. You visit a private island and race down the tallest water slide in North America. You don't just go for a road trip. You ATV and zip line through the jungle. You don't just go somewhere new. You rappel down waterfalls and discover ancient temples. Because this isn't just any vacation. This is all the vacations. Come seek the Royal Caribbean. Ships Registry, Bahamas.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. And what I'm really interested in is and how do you identify these saboteurs? Because sometimes what's really interesting is your circle of friends, and there's like your circle of enemies, and I think it was Sun Tzu, he said, keep your enemies closer, or keep your friends close and keep your enemies closer. And then, but there's also the ones that kind of inadvertently, like, they could be, a lot of it's spurred by envy and jealousy, and they could, like, either I've learned to not really disclose things to people that don't understand, and because they know, and then or the ones that kind of they're nice to you in front of your face, and then behind you they're trying to sabotage you. How do you identify that, and how do you manage those?
Yeah, I'm going a step behind. First, you need to listen to your inner voice. We have a judge inside, and we have this continuous voice that is very noisy and speak loud and tell us we are not going to accomplish. What do you think? For example, when I was writing a book, this inner voice was saying in English, really? You are Mexican. You speak Spanish.
Hmm.
Why are you writing a book in English? Who says you have the competencies to do that? Why you want to go so big? It's not necessarily. Maybe you don't need it. So you have an inner voice that discourages you all the time from changing. And it's because we have this thriving mind that allow us to achieve, and we have this survival brain. And the survival brain doesn't like big changes. And that's why when you decide something really big, you have this inner voice. So you need to pay attention of what's in your head and what the judge says to you, because that is the saboteur. And you can put it in switch to off, and you can make it less noisy, and you can have a conversation with you, and you can stop your saboteur. Because in big changes or challenges in life, always we have this protection of our brain of, if you are fine, okay, why in the hell you are thinking about doing something big? And I'm not this kind of mentality of choose small. I don't choose small. I, as a lot of people that want to succeed and want to achieve something and want to complete and transform, I myself also decide for bigger goals. So you need to deal with this survival brain by chunking, and this is the best secret today, chunking into small pieces. This huge, big goal, it's going to get smaller and smaller and smaller. And that way, your brain will stop your inner saboteur, because it's a small step, a tiny practice. This kind of routine that goes for free into your brain, and your brain doesn't know you are going to change.
Mm.
But we love to jump high and to jump fast and to do it quick and to find shortcuts. So we need to stop that kind of mindset, because that mentality is not going to help. And in a big goal, when you begin to listen to your inner voice, stop and chunk it into small pieces.
Interesting. I like that. I like that small chunking it. There's one of my coaches and mentors, they were talking about small chunking it to success, like, master each step, and then but it's interesting how you small chunk negative ideas. You just basically break it down and until it doesn't have anything.
For example, if you want to be healthy, let's say you want to be healthy, and this 2024, you want a different you. Okay, so you decide not anymore carbs, not anymore sugars, gym every day. So it's so big that you don't do anything. The
Yeah.
first week, you quit everything, all of them. So no, it's okay, you want a gym? The tiny activity today is to find out which one, to scroll a little bit and Google some, and do that. This is the step. Tomorrow, okay, I see it. What is the decision? The other day is go for sneakers. The other day is the shorts and the tank top. And on Monday, you gave some advancement, some small steps, and you can begin a practice. Every day for an hour? No, a small practice. Maybe today is a 10 minutes practice because I don't have physical condition, or a 15 practice, and that's it. And my commitment is to go any other day until I will do better, so I can increase the practice. Not for now. It's not everything. You are not going to eat the whole baguette, only a slice.
Yeah. Yeah, very interesting. The other thing is, what I equate these saboteurs to is, you talk about your circle of friends, and they're like, oh, just start out with you start rationalizing, you start out with a small piece, it's your birthday or celebrating, oh, just a small piece, and eventually, and then it reminds me of again, this is there's Jesus and tempting, and he's just like little bit, little bit, little bit, and then that's also friends as well. They do that too. How do you how do you recognize these they call them frenemies, and how do you manage them, and how do you prevent them? For me, it was like, oh, I always wanted to be liked, but then I realized, okay, well, this person is not good for me, and so I'm just like, I won't cut them off, but I'll just keep them at a distance, and I won't share as much, and that way their influence on me is less. So how do you do that?
First, you have different options, and one of it is to be clear about your identity. It's not the same, and that is a good learning from James Clear. It's not the same to have a goal. To have a goal is to reduce 5 pounds. This is a goal. It's to run a 10K. This is a goal. To be a healthy person is not a goal. This is identity. It's part of me. So first of all, you need to create a new identity. A healthy person. And a healthy person eats healthy and reduces carbs and no sugar or reduce sugar. And a healthy person goes to the gym and breathes a lot and do have some balanced practices. Okay, do I want to do that? Yeah, I'm ready to invest in that. Yeah, so I need to recall to myself, to declare to myself and outside that I'm deciding to be a healthy person. So you need to share with your friends, because I decided that I'm a healthy person. I'm not going to have more than a glass of wine. That's it. So please don't push, don't insist. I will achieve me being a healthier person.
Yeah.
So declare that. Second, you can also decide that you don't want to go for lunch when you are in a difficult time of your diet, for example. Or maybe you can go to a social gathering, but you have your lunch first. But if you are in front of a piece of cake, you can decide to eat part of it and not to throw away everything. Because when we eat a piece of cake, it's like, okay, I'm not anymore in a diet. No, it's okay, I eat for lunch cake. At dinner, I'm going back to my healthy meals. And tomorrow, I'm going back to my understanding that a healthy person is the person who I want to be. So it's a little pause, and you can have this piece of cake. But at night, you are going back to the same conviction that you want to be a healthy person.
Yeah.
But we usually stop for a moment and stop everything.
Yeah. I like that. I like that idea, your identity and versus your habits. Yeah, really interesting. How can let's see here. The other, what's really interesting is how can people contact you, follow you, reach out to you, check out your work, and so on?
Yeah, I do have social media. I have this web page, hildafainsod.com, and all my social medias, Instagram and LinkedIn and Facebook are Hilda Fainsod, so you can reach me that way. And you will find in the page that I coach others and I mastermind groups. And I want to stop for a moment because sometimes we cannot deal with the changes. We need support. And there are different ways of doing that. There are those kinds of good friends, healthy friends that can help you. For example, I didn't work out in my life for 47 years. So when I decided to break that cycle and to be a healthy person and to exercise, I talked to a friend of mine and I signed up in the same gym that she has. And I had this commitment 3 times a week with her. So every time in the morning I was, why in the hell I was thinking to say my friend that I will be in the gym, but I needed to go because it was a friend's commitment.
Yeah.
So sometimes you can choose friends. Sometimes you can choose coworkers that have the same interest than you. And sometimes you can choose a coach because the one thing that you want to accomplish will be supported better by a coach that can see your saboteurs and can bring you possibilities where you think there are no. So in my page, you are going to see that I coach others, and that is a wonderful way of achieving. I do my best times of achieving in life is because I have a friend near me, an accountability partner, or a coach. So those are my increasing times of capabilities and challenge and goals and transformation.
Yeah, I love that. And for all the audience out there, let's thank Hilda for coming on, talking about creating possibilities. And I love this idea because, same thing, just kind of this voice in your head saying, who do you think you are to do this? And, she challenges that. So check out her book. It's on Amazon, and also give her socials a like and follow. And thanks so much for coming onto the podcast.
Gosh, I enjoy very much. I can keep going with this conversation, Chris, the whole morning.
Yeah, I love that. And thanks so much.
Thank you. Thanks.